Buddy, it's me, James Hunter. It's been a while since I've gone live, so I can imagine that some of you may have forgotten what I look like and who I am. In case you have, because it has been a while, I'm the author of a bunch of books: Viridian Gate Online, Rogue Dungeon, Vigils Justice. That's the new series that I'm working on, including a bunch of other. Shadowcroft 3 just came out a couple weeks ago, I think. But anyways, I wanted to take a moment to check in with you all. I got some exciting announcements and some other stuff. If you have any questions or comments, just drop them below. I think I'm live in a bunch of different places in a couple different groups, so I'm not sure that it'll show me whose name it is, but I think I'll be able to see the comment. Anyways, I hope you all are doing good. It's been a while since I checked in with you guys. And first things first, I wanted to talk about Vigils Balance. So for those who pre-ordered the book, which is book 3 in the Vigil Bound series, it's supposed to come out next week, and it's not going to. I bumped the pre-order by a month, so it's going to come out at the tail end of next month. And I really apologize. This is the first time in 8 years, or maybe 9 years, I think, that I've ever had to bump a pre-order. But man, this book got away from me. It is probably the biggest, longest book that I've ever written in my entire life, and it is super good. But it definitely is a lot meatier than I anticipated it being. When I first started writing, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. This is like a fun book, wild hunt. It's going to be like a cool 100,000 words, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit closer to 160,000 words. So didn't really plan that as well. I don't think I've ever had a book get away from me quite the way that this one did, but I'm really happy with the way that it's turned out. Most of it's in editing now. I'm finishing up the third act, and then all of it will be with my editor and off to the formatter. But I wanted to apologize again, but I think that it's going to be worth the wait. Sometimes art sort of takes on a life of its own and has a way of kind of sneaking up on you and doing things you didn't anticipate. But I think that in the long run, it's going to be worth it. The book's going to be excellent. And then I plan on working on book 4 later in the year. So hopefully that'll be out. Book 4, which should be Vigil's Truth, will be out toward the end of the year. But yeah, I'm really excited. If you have any questions or comments about that, just let me know. Will there be, Adam Hobbs asked, will there be a VGO book for Forge? So I've gotten this email. I may even have gotten this email from Adam. Right now, there's not a planned book for Forge, although that would be a great story to see. Forge is one of my favorite side characters, who it feels like that didn't get enough screen time, and I think that his backstory is really cool and really compelling, and kind of a straight up tanky melee fighter class would be fun to sort of explore inside of the VGO universe. But I don't know. I'm not done with VGO. I still want to return to that universe, and I want to write more books, whether that takes place sort of with some of the characters we see in the original series, or whether that takes place after the events of book 8. I'm not 100% sure yet. But I do have plans in the future to return back into the world of Viridian Gate Online and follow up with those characters. I already miss them a little bit. It feels like just yesterday I was spending time with Jack and Cutter and Abby and playing around in that giant sandbox, and it feels too distant. So I'm excited to get back to that at some point. Some other new projects though that I have in the works that are worth talking about and sharing. Eden Hudson and I, who's my co-author for this series here at Rogue Dungeon, have been working on a super secret project pretty much for all of last year into this year called Wasteland Warlords. And I'm not sure that I've done any cover art reveals yet, but there are going to be 6 of these sort of episodes coming out all in relatively short order. We just finished number 5. And we are working on number 6. The very exciting thing about this is that, one, it takes place in the Rogue Dungeon universe. So it's not any of the characters, or it lightly touches on some of the characters that you may have seen and are familiar with from the Rogue Dungeon series. But as opposed to the Rogue Dungeon series, it actually takes place about 20 years after the events of the Rogue Dungeon series. Minor spoilers, but sort of in the later books in the Rogue Dungeon series, there's sort of the merge is what they call it, where bits of Hearthworld, which is the video game that Rorik inhabits, starts to bleed over onto Earth, and some of those monsters start to appear in Southern California. And so it actually takes place in sort of this post-apocalyptic section of American wasteland that's been walled off from the rest of America. Lots of new, really fun, wonky characters. I will say that one particular foul-mouthed gamer from the Rogue Dungeon series will definitely make an appearance in Wasteland Warlords. The other really exciting thing is that we partnered with Audible for all 6 of the Wasteland Warlords stories, and they're going to be produced and put into the Audible Plus catalog, so they will be 100% free to listen to. We're still waiting on narrator selection right now from Audible. So I can't tell you who's going to narrate it yet. We've kind of communicated some of our preferences, but haven't heard back from them yet. But once they get a narrator selected, all of the books are just going to go right through production, and then we'll be dropping them about one every 3 or 4 weeks for until all 6 of them are out. So hopefully you should see those in the sort of second half of this year, all the way up through the end of the year. So I'm really excited about that. These are goofy, wild, fun, wonderful stories that I think everybody's really going to love and really going to enjoy. The other thing that this is not 100% yet, but it's exciting enough to share news about it, is that I am in talks with Luke Gygax. If there are any D&D fans out there, and it seems likely considering the genre that I write in, Luke is the son of Gary Gygax, who's the inventor of Dungeons and Dragons, and Luke and I are in tentative talks to co-write a project together as well. We don't have a strong timeline for that yet, but I flew out to LA maybe a month ago and chatted with him and kind of worked out an outline. So we're still looking at contracts and other stuff, but it seems pretty likely that that's going to happen. And speaking of Luke, he also runs an amazing convention called GaryCon, which is happening this weekend. It's actually starting tomorrow. It's in Lake Geneva, and it's awesome. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like tabletop and role-playing games, it's just an absolute blast. There's so much fun to be had, lots of games that you can play. I will be there along with my wife. We're going out to play some games. I'm also going to be doing a couple of book signings there. I'm bringing a whole bunch of stock. So if you have books, bring them out. Come see me. I'd love to sign them. If you don't have books, you can come pick them up. If you mention any of the groups that you're in, I'll give you a free copy as long as I have a copy to give. I'll have copies of Viridian Gate Online, Vigils Justice, Rogue Dungeon 1, and Shadowcroft 1. So I'll have a whole bunch of books that'll be given out to any members of Fantasy Nation or the James Hunter Bookshop Hangout, or any of the other places where you might see. So if you're at GaryCon this weekend, come say hi to me. I'd really love to see you guys. That's kind of the big updates and the big announcements. I'm sorry it's been so quiet, man. I've just been grinding away. The pressure on to try to get Vigils Balance done in time for the pre-order date was just really weighing down on me, and so I really just wasn't doing anything else. I was just writing. But kind of came up, take a breath of air, wanted to check in with you guys. Thank you guys again for continuing to support me. Check out Vigils Balance when it comes out. If you haven't picked it up already, you can go get it on pre-order. It's definitely going to be worth the wait. It's going to be a heck of a book, and Luke Daniels is going to do an absolutely fantastic job narrating it, and lots of other cool things on the horizon. So thanks again, everyone, for supporting me and staying with me and reading my books. You keep reading them, I'll keep writing them. And thank you all again. Have a good night.